opening model. I can pass the watch right now.
Let's start the meeting of the Cold Spring Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm Eric Worth, the chair. With me is Billy Fields, John Martin, and Mary Ann Remy. We have a quorum tonight, 4 out of 5 members. And there's one item on the agenda, the workshop for 1 Depot Square. You're here for that, right, Jamie?
I'm Jamie Copeland. This is Gracie McGinnis. Really appreciate you meeting tonight. I realize we're the only one on the docket, so.
It's our regular date, so we are here.
Okay.
Would you like to come to the table? And
Yes, and we have some drawings that probably better laid out on the table.
Should we move that aside? That's Robert's.
Yeah.
We were approached by the owners of the Depot restaurant. They have a outdoor dining area, and it's such a prominent spot, and they wanted to do something that would be in keeping with Cold Spring history. We've lost a lot of the cast iron fronts detailing, and they found a structure. So I'm going to let Gracie walk you through it. It does have some issues about setback, parking, and so.
yeah, we're just going to be concerned with the setback in this board.
Great.
So just for the purposes of that tonight, we have it marked out here on the site plan, a 25 by 50 pavilion that is just at the other end of the site from the existing restaurant towards the corner of Main Street, Depot Plaza. The variance that we're asking for is the rear setback, which the requirement is 10, as you know, and our building sits at 7 feet. The reason we located it in that exact position was to keep the same relationship to the sidewalk and the parking and streetscape as the existing restaurant, and with the size of the building, you know, needed for function that we're looking to get out of it, that's where it landed. Of course, it's well within the footprint of the existing building in relation to the non-conformity there, so we're hoping for the 3-foot variance, just to make sure everything lines up in front and we could still use the building, you know, at the capacity that we're looking for, that size.
So you say it's a reclaimed building, like a pre-existing structure, or?
It's not reclaimed.
Not reclaimed, but it has
so
historical character to it, I guess, more so. Okay. Oh, here's some drawings of a design similar to what we're looking for, a little less ornamental. Photograph of a structure in by the same manufacturer. We would be going for a darker color that's more fits with the building that's there, a bronze kind of color, not green, but
So it'll be a new construction.
yes.
There was a time when Cold Spring transferred to peacetime and stopped making canna and started to make building fronts, cast iron for bridges, and there was a lot of work came out of this foundry that was seen all over the Eastern Seaboard. This is a prime example of that methodology of wet sand impression casting.
You're saying what's left behind in the ground right now?
There's a wooden gazebo. There's a flagpole.
Oh, what's currently there? Yeah, I'm familiar with it. And it's not of the same size of what you're proposing.
No, it's a small. The purpose of this one is to have outdoor dining and have a covered area that it could serve for places to meet outdoors. But under
Is that gonna be like served at an area that's served?
yes, the kitchen they serve out there now, so we'll give them a chance to do it, with the cover, with a canopy over top.
Mechanicals in this?
There may be, if they enclose it, it could have mechanicals. It's probably a heat pump that would,
So right now,
right now it's just
as
a,
it's designed, is just open space that's covered.
yes.
And so would it be glass lined or is it actually all open as it's designed present?
Well, it's designed to take glass panels so that it, in the tween seasons, they can enclose it,
Okay.
make it comfortable.
So, just curious, Eric, you know, as you look at the size of the property, right? Percentages. Covered here.
Oh, coverage.
But
Well,
what would it be
their property is actually the whole, includes the street.
oh, it does. Oh, it does,
That's,
okay.
And it's.
That's all.
Yeah, that,
And John, look at this, the only thing that's actually variance is this here,
Is the side.
just the rear setback.
Yeah, that's what,
Everything else is fine.
I saw that, but I just was trying to figure out where the rest of the property.
Right.
yeah, and then there's a right of way has been granted for use of that street section.
Fine.
So at a workshop, we mainly just check the application for correctness, completeness, make sure that we all understand correctly the issues of code that are involved and whether the application is in its best state for a hearing. Because that's when the public will have a chance to weigh in on it. You provide, there were a couple of gaps which you have provided. We now have a zoning conformance worksheet, and I assume the deed is here, right?
Yeah, it's not in that packet. I have a copy.
You should.
That's when I worked out to be notified once.
Yeah, that's one of the issues dealt with in the workshop is the notification to neighbors. When a public hearing has been set, you'll have to mail notices to the list of neighbors. And you provided one in your application, which was seemed mostly complete. I saw a couple of, let me call up a map here.
Yeah, we had about five adjacent properties that we called out.
Well, one that you'll need to notify is MTA, as John said. Hard as it may be to imagine that they will care, still, they are the adjacent property owner right on that property line. They very much are relevant. And to be complete, you need to send them a notice as well. And I was also, seemed to me, in the map here.
George Washington Spring gonna be like right in the middle of it?
I think that
You know,
going,
that stone with the plaque has been in numerous other places. So, it may be, there's the, you know, it's the end of Main Street, there is that semicircle that's juts out towards the track, the flagpole and that stone. Cause right now, I remember it's like vacant spot. That would be nice to have a flagpole at the foot of Main Street.
There's be an argument for sending a notice to 37 Main Street. That's the yellow building that's that is being renovated now, because they have standing in the front of that building, you've got a clear view of this site or partial view of the site. And so they do have some interest potentially And then the last one I was gonna ask about is 2 Railroad Avenue. According to the map, that is the right across the street from the restaurant. 2 Railroad is that big boxy corner building that's got like an old garage in the bottom floor. That shows up as 2 Railroad Avenue here.
Is that also that, I think that's the same building as 8th Depot, potentially, unless there's 2 separate owners. That was what I had it listed as.
So,
Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah,
there's is there a preferable address?
I guess, oh, okay, yeah, I guess on the railroad side, it's known as 2 Railroad. On the depot side, it's known as 8 Depot. So that's fine. No, just as long as you,
have one.
whoever the owner is of that building,
Okay.
I mean, when you'll include them. So that's already on your list. That's great. So yeah, so just those 2, the MTA and 37 Main. And then the ones that you've already given.
Eric, what about the house that's across from Lynn Terrace that's faces Main from this corner?
That
They would be-
corner. Yeah, that's 43 Main. That's reasonable. I mean, it's,
Cause they have a courtyard there, I think, right?
um,
Oh, I see what you're saying, on the far
Oh,
side.
backside.
The courtyard
just
is-
front porch.
Okay,
yeah, they have a view of it too.
Sure, that would be pretty much it, I think.
In your interest to notify as many people as possible, just to protect yourself against somebody coming back later and saying, how
oh,
come you
yeah,
didn't, this upsets me, how come you didn't tell?
Is there a form,
Yes,
letter that we use?
I will, in the next few days, send you, I'll email you, the, announcement itself, the announcement of the hearing. And that's just what, you'll just print that and that will be what you mail. It just gives the full, the full explanation of what it's about.
And then there's a sign posting as well.
Yeah, you'll need to get a sign clerk. And put that in front of the property.
Those need to be certified, but
Yes, and I will provide explanation about all that. There's a return receipt requested, and so on. So yeah, I'll explain all that. Within 10 days before the hearing date, and that'll be the next question, when to have the hearing. Well, let's, in order to set that, the board has to vote whether to have a hearing, whether the application is ready to go to a hearing. So let's make sure we see if, does anyone have any other questions, comments, about the application? We didn't talk about photos. Photographs are not a required part, but useful. I saw some in the PDF.
You had some drawings.
yeah, there are some
We
attached.
we do have a.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Site photos, and drawings as well.
Oh, great,
Marking
yeah,
out where the
so
structure
helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then drawings of the structure itself.
There's a Washington.
So right of
The stone was in the back there, yeah. Black.
Park there all the time, I never.
Okay, so yeah, that's
That's
fine.
really
yeah, it's
helpful.
a pretty broad street, so,
Yeah.
you know, you've got the railroad right there. I guess I'm not seeing a need for like photographs of all the neighborhood necessarily
Oh,
in this
no.
case.
No.
Yeah.
Such a familiar sight to all of us anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So great, okay, so, I see nothing to add to the application. It seems ready to go.
Mentioned having a copy of the deed. You mind providing that? I think I missed that, the application. Actually.
Oh, yeah. I have just one copy that I brought with me, but I think I emailed it to you as
Yeah.
well, Eric.
She emailed it later.
But I could leave one here if it didn't make it in.
I saw, I think I saw it in the packet. Okay.
Oh, it's on the next page. That's the receipt for it.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Abby, there's a message from Gracie on 6:20 that you should have got as well. That has the PDF of.
Mhm.
Well, I would move, that the package seems complete, but the
Okay.
is
I guess we-
evidently in.
I guess we need to set a date and then you'll include that in your motion.
Okay.
Hold a date,
Okay.
hold a meeting, hold a
Right.
hearing on X date.
Yeah.
So let's, we need like a 4-week lag from now until the hearing in order to carry out there's a required referral to the planning board. We've got to just notify them of the existence of this application under Cold Springs law. So, they have 30 days to respond. So to allow for that, we need basically at least a 4-week lag. So that means the soonest date for the hearing would be, today's the 24th. July 22nd, yeah, there's a meeting, a ZBA meeting on the 22nd of July. So that would be a possibility if that works for you.
The 22nd of July.
Correct.
Here at 7 o'clock.
Right,
And that's the public hearing.
yes. John, why don't you frame your motion to include that date?
Right. So I move that the package for here for the 1 Depot Square. Looking for area variance, 3 feet on the rear setback, be. That is complete, the packet is complete, and the hearing be scheduled for July 2022 at 2025, 7 p.m.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. That's it.
The reason, part of the reason we're here, the Historic District Review Board thought that this probably should have come here first. Is there anything that you see in this that you might think cause concern with the public?
I don't see, that's often a question when an application is referred to more than one board at the same time, whether there should be a certain sequence. We don't have anything set in stone on that. It can depend on the application, nature of the project. I don't see anything, the matter before us is pretty simple, and I don't see anything that we do one way or the other would have a bearing on the HDRB, on their decision. This really is actually something that they have a lot more to think about here than we do. So I don't see a need for them to wait. I mean, I get the danger, I guess, that they're thinking of is if the ZBA rejects the proposal and requires some other solution, some other approach that totally requires you to redo the design. And then they're what they're looking at is obsolete. I don't see any likelihood of that.
Well, I think you just would go forward with, I mean, the plan is pretty straightforward and, won't be that time consuming. It might be for whether little specifics they may have, but if they were to grant things, it'd all be conditioned on how we come out. So I don't think you'd have a terrible loss of time.
Yeah, it actually works the other way around too. They could hypothetically impose on you some requirements that change the setback, force you to change the setback as part of your adjustments. And then that would mean our decision would be potentially no longer applicable. So, it could work either way, so you just gonna have to muddle through.
Yeah, I think you just go forward. It's in a sense straightforward that you've prepared everything, so.
Worst comes to worst, I mean,
And the 3 feet is not a unreasonable ask.
that I don't know, that really.
We have to
is-
go through
can't
5
say.
criteria,
Yeah.
and we have to do it on a formal basis. We can't give any preliminary statement on it.
I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you.
So thank you.
So I will be writing you, the next few days with complete further instructions on what you need to do.
All right.
Thank you.
Do you take these with us or are you? Extra copy?
Oh, you can hang on. We, Thanks.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good night.
Thanks.
You too.
Good night.
Abby, it looks like you provided some new minutes here.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a new draft of minutes for May 13th.
We're gonna get started on that. Just to clarify the motion, the requested variance for a 3-foot side yard.
Variance, 3 foot, the variance of 3 feet on the rear setback. Rear setback.
Yeah. You got it, a 1 foot square, and to schedule a public hearing. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, got your message.
So, showed up.
Could you remind me what 17 variant happened?
Yeah, that's,
Garage.
he's, has a detached garage in the backyard. He wants to extend it.
Right, because there's the old carport over there.
And you
Is
wanna
that the
do
one?
wood make,
No,
you wanna make a wood work.
Yeah, his
That's
hobby
right.
is woodworking,
that's right.
and plus for better maneuverability of the car.
That's right, okay.
So did you run the hill or did you just walk it?
Well, I'm not doing the whole hill yet, because I'm still not 100%. Yeah, but I'm doing 5K every couple days, but I get about 700 vertical feet out of it. So I go up and down, and I'll get around to doing the whole thing.
Serpentine or go straight?
Going up, it's pretty like you just follow the trail. Coming back down, I do a lot of like slowing down, moving around.
Yeah, it actually built up all the way around.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's once.
Yes. It's cycling. You ever try that? East side.
Not really, no. I
No,
mean,
right.
yeah, it would be great. I'm like, I'd rather be under my own power.
Yeah.
I mean, I know bike is too, but like, I like putting my feet on the ground. Like, I might have to, depending on how my knee heals or doesn't heal or gets straight, but yeah.
I have a couple of changes to propose to the minutes. Where it says the applicant at 17 Marion Avenue, he hasn't applied yet, so why don't we just call him the resident
Okay,
the resident at 17 Marion Avenue.
that makes sense.
And the second point, the second bulleted point, um, really needs more explanation because it's not, won't be clear what rejection I'm talking about there.
Okay,
So maybe just delete point. Otherwise, it's gonna take, we have to explain if he had applied once before and
yeah,
Yeah, you would get more detail if you were gonna get that. So I think that he simply had a few questions. It's fine, right?
yeah, that covers all that the minutes need to say. So why don't we just delete the second bulleted point, just leave the first. And otherwise, it looks great.
okay.
Anyone else see anything?
No,
Oh, also the typo, sorry. Telling on myself. The meeting was called to order at such and such time. Yeah,
The meeting called itself to order.
yeah, I wasn't even there.
So I make a motion to accept the meeting, the minutes of the May 13th, 2025 meeting as amended.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
So, Abby, you're
still
still
that long.
need to send me the files.
Well, you ran. I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, but it was 75 this morning, now it's 90.
Sounds good, thank you.
As long as that sun is cool.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. As long as it's below whatever, you're not in it.
Right. You realize, you see how windy it is in this right now?
I mean, that actually does make it better.
It's drying out.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone have any other
No other business.
business? Then I make a motion that we close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
thank you. Thank you, Abigail. Thank you,
Very
Eric.
sweet meeting.
Yeah.
Everybody says, oh. Allowing me. They don't, oh, now it's 87. That's like
Oh, it's
Frigid.
cooling down.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, likewise, Abigail. Thanks. Should we just leave it here as it is? Okay, great.